Hello champions, welcome back to the CodingBHOOM. Observe this web page. We have a small question here and select a programming language. Yeah, we already know Python, Java, C are the programming language. HTML is not a programming language. And here observe, I can select multiple answers from this form. I can select Python, Java, C, HTML at a time. Okay, and also observe this gender question. Select a gender. And here I will select male, and if I click on female, observe the male is unselected. Okay, the male is unselected here. If I again select others, the female is also unselected. So here I can select only one option. And also observe this choose file button. If I click on it, something is open. This is my computer files, and if I select a file, I will select code.png and I will click on open. Observe here the name is appearing, code.png is appearing in my web page. So from this the user can send files into our web page. We also have all these type of input fields in HTML. So let us make all of this in our web page. So in the previous video we already learned these input fields which are in the top side. You can see like color selecting and date and all these fields. So if you missed that previous video, just click this suggested video and watch that video. Now in this video we will learn another different types of input fields in HTML. So without getting any late, let's get started. First, let us make the checkbox field like which I have selected multiple options Python, Java, C like that. Let us make that and open the text editor. I will write a question. So for the question I will write H3 here. Inside this H3 I just write select numbers only. After this I just write an input tag, and inside this type attribute just write checkbox. Remember, check checkbox, checkbox, and just save it. Let us see the output. Yes, observe we got a question and a checkbox also, and we need to attach some name to this. I will attach a name. For that, open the text editor and just write a label after this input field. I just type 13 here. I just save it. Let us see the output. Yeah, we got a number 13 with a checkbox, and I can select this checkbox, and I will make other options also. Yes, observe I can select multiple answers from it. Observe, if I click on this checkbox, the checkbox is selecting. But if I click on this 13, the checkbox is not selected. Let us make from that, if the user clicks on the 13, the checkbox must be selected. So to make that, just write an ID inside this input field. Here inside this ID I will write check1. You can write whatever you want. I just write check1, and inside this label tag just write for, for, and equal to double quotes. Inside this double quotes again write check1, which we have already given to the ID. That ID must be here. So here what happens, we have given an ID check1 and the label is assigned to that ID. Okay, if the user clicks on 13, the checkbox also selects. So let us observe that. Just save it and refresh the browser, and I will click on 13. Yes, observe the checkbox is selecting here. So we have successfully made a checkbox field in our web page. And now let us make the rounded input field, that are radio input fields. From that the user can select only one option. Okay, the user can't select multiple options from that. So to make that, just write H2. I just write H2 here. Inside this H2 tag I will write a question like do you code question mark. After this just write an input field. Now remember, inside this type attribute just write radio, radio. Okay, radio. So let's just save it. Refresh the browser. Yes, we got a question and a radio input field. And now let us give a name to this input field. Just write a label. In between this label I just write yes, and just create another input field and just write no here, no. Just save it. Let us check the output. Yes, we got a question and two options. So I will select yes. Again if I select no, observe both are selecting. So this is not correct form. Okay, only one option should select from this. So we need to write a condition for this. So this is so simple. Just open the text editor. Remember, inside this name attribute, just give a name I just write boom here, BHOOM. This is my name. And you must write the same name in the other field also. You just need to write the same name in other field also. So just copy this name and paste it here. So let us see the output. Just save it and refresh the browser. Now I just select yes. Now I will select no again. Observe the yes is unselected here. So we can select only one option for this question. And next, let us make the email input field. So from this email input field, the user enters the email in a correct form. So to make that, just write an input field, and inside this type attribute, just write email, EMAIL, and just save it and reload the page. Yeah, we got an input field, and let us check how it will work. I just enter something. Observe, it is saying please include @ in the email, and it is missing an @ symbol. Okay, let us write an @ and now observe again, it is asking like please include a part like @ and it is incomplete. So from this the user can understand the field is for email, and the user will enter the correct email format. And note this field works different for the different browsers. If I see the same output in the Firefox, if I enter something here, observe it is showing a background red color, and when I place my mouse on it, it is saying like enter an email address. So this will works different for the different browsers. And notice this also, all input fields looks different for the different browsers, but the main purpose of that input field is same. Okay, they looks different, but the main purpose is same. Okay, remember that. And next, let us make an input field. So from that the user can enter only URL. Okay, URL only. So to make that, just write an input field, and inside this type attribute, just write URL. Remember URL, and just save it. Let us see the output. Yes, we got the input field, and if I type something here, it is asking me to enter URL only. If I enter the correct URL, it doesn't asking me. Okay, so next, let us make a search input field in our web page. You may see search input fields in so many websites. Let us make that search input field in our web page. So to make that, just write an input field, and inside this type attribute, just write search, SEARCH. Okay, just save it, reload the page. Yeah, we got a field, and if I enter anything on it, observe it is showing X icon, and if I click on it, it is clearing the data whatever I entered here. Okay, and next, let us make a button on our web page. So you may see so many buttons like subscribe button or like that. Let us make a button. So just write the input field, inside this type attribute, just write button as usual, BUTTON, and just save it, reload the page. Yeah, observe here something is appearing, but there is nothing inside the button. Let us write something inside the button. To write that, give a space after the type attribute, just write value, okay, and equal to double quotes. So inside these double quotes, you can write anything whatever you want. I just write subscribe, SUBSCRB. Just save it and reload the page. So yes, we got a subscribe button. And now I will make a range input field. You may see this in Instagram stories like this you are seeing in the screen. So to make that, just write input field, and now inside this type attribute, just write range, RANGE, and just save it and reload the page. Yeah, we got a range field, and the user can vary it. And now let us make a reset button. From that, the user can reset the data in the form by one click. To make that, just write an input tag, and inside this type attribute, just write reset, RESET, and just save it and reload the page. Yeah, we got a reset button, and if I click on it, nothing is happening. To make it work, we need to put this in a form tag. So just write form here and close the tag at the end of this input field. So we need to put all of these input fields in a form tag. Just write a form above the input fields and end this form at the end of this input field. Okay, just save it. Let us fill this form, and if I click on reset button, the data is cleared. And finally, let us make the submit button to this form. To make that, just write an input field, and inside this type attribute, just write submit, SUBMIT, and just save it and execute the browser. Yeah, If I click on this submit button, observe if I don't place correct email or URL in the fields, when I click the submit button, it is showing some alerts like enter the correct email format, enter the correct email, like that. The submit button is directly submits the data to the backend database. But now we don't have any backend, so this will not works. This is the use of submit button. So till now we have learned the input fields in HTML. If you have any doubts according to this video, feel free to ask in comments. Give a like if you like the content. Please subscribe.
Whatever.
That will encourages me to make more videos for you. Happy learning. Peace.